So we are so excited once again to be here at MAMA with all of you amazing people. And I'm so lucky to have this chance to talk to my boss, Oren, and the founder and CEO of AppsFlyer 1 year later about some amazing stuff that has happened in 1 year, but actually amazing things that have happened in 10 years since we have been in China. So, take a seat, sir. And by the way, if you guys have any question, maybe we have a chance to get one in the end, or two, or three.
Yeah, I'll tell you. The beginning of time for us was 2011 that we started to experiment with measurement. Beginning of 12, we've launched the first product. We thought that we are alone, that no one is doing it in the world, and actually no one did it. But in the same week, actually 3 companies started doing it. And I really relate to what Dr. Deng said actually about sports. There's so much correlation between sports and business. You know, in sports there are peaks, so you have games. And for us it's an infinite game and a constant game and a 24/7 game. Because your opponent, you cannot see. It can come from anywhere in the world. There are no certain rules and no judge. I mean, we try to be the judge and the referee in the advertising game. There are laws, but there are no rules. And you always need to be alert. You need to be the fastest, more determined, and always aim to be the best in what you do. And when we started to see a lot of demand coming from China, so we really didn't have any kind of big strategy around China and all that. And it felt like China chose us in a way. Because the thing is, when I started to work with some of you actually, and Chinese companies and Chinese people, I saw the dedication, the motivation, the ambitious, and the great products and the precisions around the product. And I felt like working with you and working in China can really help us build something that is, you know, I also can relate to what Dr. said. If you can be successful in China, you probably can be successful anywhere. And right? Because it's really, really hard. And I thought that if there will be big winners in any industry, you should be willing to really invest a lot of time and effort in it. And I just saw that in Chinese companies. I saw that in the people that are actually operating in these companies. And it was mind-blowing for me. So like I said, it wasn't really a big strategy. It was, we just didn't, like I said, we didn't have much, I don't want to say options, but in 2014, we decided to go all in China. We understand that in order for us to pave this road from China to global markets, we need to have people that speak Chinese. So I was interviewing probably all the people that speak Chinese and Chinese people in Israel. And then I started to work with you, Ronen, Shishir. And his first mission was to establish our presence in China. Very quickly after, Dr. Wang Wei joined us 2015, more than 10 years ago. And I still remember when we talked with Dr. Wei, he asked me, okay, Oren, what's the revenue goals for this year? I told him there's no revenue goals. Your mission is to make Chinese companies successful globally, period, full stop. And the thing is with this goal, it's not really a goal, it's not really KPI, because you cannot measure it over 1 year. You cannot measure it after 2 years. You cannot measure it even after 3 or 4 years. You can really measure that after a decade. And let's take a look at what happened after a decade. First of all, look at all the companies here. You have amazing businesses globally. Amazing businesses across so many verticals, whether it's gaming, services, entertainment, e-commerce, whatnot. And for us, and for me personally, and for Dr. Wei, that I think that we couldn't imagine 10 years ago that we're going to be sitting here with so many Chinese companies successful. And I think that I and we together managed to really conquer the world with really incredible products. And you know, one of the things that people told me, is when we went to China, that was something that surprised me. That people said, hey, they're gonna copy you there. And I'm like, if copying us is our moat and competitive advantage, anyone can copy. And copy is also inspiration. I think that if you copy, and again, Dr. Wei said that you cannot copy and be the best in what you do. You can get inspired by different things, but you really need to bring your full self into the game. I would say that we take small pride and peace in your success. I think that we have quite a few customers for 10 years, for more than 10 years, that's sitting here, that's working with us for 10 years. And I think that the innovators back then in 2012, 13, 14, that went global from China, we really paved the road together into the global markets and building this platform that is not a standalone kind of measurement thing that you put the data. It's really bridge to the global markets. And this is how we look at it. Whether it's the technology, whether it's the connections, whether it's bringing really the unique perspective of how to go ahead and do it. And I'm so happy that we see so many new companies in China that we help them go global. This is incredible.
Sounds like a really beautiful story, but every story also has moments of challenge, right? If we look back, for example, in March 2018, Meta deprecated user-level data, which was something that everyone was depending on. And in April 2021, Scan came out, which we just heard being talked about. A lot of the industry doubted us, doubted the value of what an MMP is, or a measurement partner. We're still here. What do you say to that?
That we are much more important than before, much more. I think that this period of adversity and challenges that we had specifically since 2020 and the establishment and the release of iOS 14 really enhanced our position in the market, our relationship with the platforms, the collaborative work that we've done with many of our partners. We have Snap here that we really innovated very early in privacy-enhancing technologies for measurement. So this is something that we are now doing with Facebook and with Google 2 years after. And I think that we actually paved the way in privacy-enhancing measurement. So preserve the signal, preserve measurement, preserve attribution, comply with the new platform regulations and guidelines, but still provide the data that developers need to be successful in this market. And I think that in this process, we also convinced so many people in the industry, including Apple, that preserving very strong signal is very important for the platform, because without measurement, app developers couldn't really be successful in the Apple ecosystem. Now, if you think about, and Apple gets that, it's really not about the device, the screen, the battery, the CPU, the cameras, or whatever. This is about you. This is about the services. This is about the apps that you build. Right? Without the apps that you build to this platform, this is worthless. We enable part of it. We enable that the app developers will be able to develop great products, that will be able to make the right decisions, that they will be able to have the right ROI, that they will aim for positive ROI, because if you have negative ROI, it's a matter of time until you go out of business. And we all want that everybody will be successful for the benefit of the consumer in the end of the day, that they will have a great device, great services, great user experience. And I'm very happy that we managed to preserve that. Also on Scan is kind of a building block. It's kind of a protocol. And we've built like a lot of technology around it to make it as beneficial, as user-friendly as possible. And I think that we reached to the point that we really exhaust all the possibilities around it to make it as great as possible, but it's still not beautiful. It's still ugly. And this is the best that we can take, Scan. So we've been working with Apple in many aspects of on scan, but it is what it is. And I think that the SSOT that we presented, kind of collaborating between SSOT, other measurement ways and technologies, to present the data that you need basically to make decisions. And I tell you that Apple gets that, Google gets that, that this data is critical for them and for their businesses. So yeah, at the beginning it wasn't easy, and I think that if we need to compare that to sports, this is a team, it's a big team. And when the team, AppsFlyer team, reads the news, this is the end of MMP, no one needs attribution, we really need to have kind of a team resilience. And the question is, how do you create this team resilience? How do you create that in every single employee, they understand that there are problems in the industry, that there are challenges in the industry, that there are adversities in the industry, and not only that this is not the right time to go ahead and look for a new company, because you shy away, you walk away from opportunity to grow yourself, to grow your career, and to actually be all in about the company mission, about our customers, about the ecosystem, about the vision, about the mission for us here in China. This is an opportunity to, you see that as a blocker, and we see that as a step forward, a step to move forward. And I think that we've managed to create this sense of urgency inside the company. And again, we have so many people also, so Wang Gui here celebrated 10 years. We have many others that celebrating 10 years, 8 years, 7 years, 9 years. Here in China, which is quite rare and very inspiring. But I think that we realize, and what they realize, that every challenge that we have in the company and in the industry is an opportunity for them to also grow their career. And based on all their experience. So I'm really happy. No one is happy when challenge is coming that you didn't select. Why do we need these problems of privacy and iOS and all that? So I cannot say that in the first time I was kind of excited, then I woke up but the day after I say, okay, we have a problem and I'm energized by this problem. We need to solve. This is a hard problem to solve. And let's solve it together. And it felt really good also to represent you. When we went to Google, when we went to Apple, when we went to Meta, to Facebook, we presented your problems. When we write software, we write the software on your behalf. 100% of our revenue is coming from you. We do not have an ad network. We do not have our own apps. We write the software on your behalf, and when we go to them, we tell them, hey, these are the problems. These are the challenges. And you know, it really felt good when, good and bad, but it really felt good also in retrospective that we had, in iOS 14, if you remember, everybody were freaking out for a long time, 2020, 2021, 2022. People thought that this is the end of the business for them, in iOS at least. So they've been calling us like Apple Support Center. Actually, in HQ we share the same building with Apple. So it really felt like Apple Support Center. It was actually Apple Support Center because we took all this aggregated feedback and we took it to Cupertino, to Apple. And we said, these are the problems. This is what we need to solve, and this is how we're thinking about solving it.
You mentioned MMP. We've talked about the past 10 years. Let's talk about the future a little bit. What does the next 10 years look like for AppsFlyer? What is this talk about MMP to MP all about?
Yeah, so you told the answer. So one of the things that you've been asking is to have multi-platforms, cross-channel, cross-device measurement. So you are going global. You are going also beyond Asia and beyond mobile-first, mobile-only countries. And in these countries, they use multiple screens. Most people, let's say here, have one screen. They do everything with this device. This is why one of the things that really gave us advantage, by the way, back then. You know what, back then, we've been working in China, and it really allowed us to see the future. It really allowed us to see the future because of the usage and how people have been using the mobile devices here. Think about payments. Only now it's getting to the West. So there's so many things that, if China was considered, or China was considered to kind of copying and inspiring, for the last 6 years, Western companies copying from Chinese companies, and especially when it comes down to mobile applications and how people are using mobile devices. By the way, all these big companies in the US that we wanted to get and we couldn't, now we have them. Thanks to you, actually, because we built like such a robust platform, and you've been grilling us. We were able to kind of bring very robust platform to all our customers globally. Now, what happens lately is that mobile became so prominent to everybody, even in the cross-device Western countries, that they want to measure everything. They want to see all the ROI. They don't want to see mobile ROI and web and CTV, because the user journey can start from a TV or CTV and then go to their laptop from the mobile device. They can watch 2 devices in parallel. They can watch TV and play with their phone. This happens all the time. So how do you connect all the dots across all the platforms together? This is a big question that were raised by many of you here, many of our customers in the US. And we are going to drop, actually we are dropping the first M, the mobile, we're gonna call it AMA. I don't know.
AMA?
AMA, not MAMA. AMA. It doesn't sound, maybe. Anyways, we can keep the name. But anyways, this is what we want to build, and we're actually working on it. Another development that is very interesting is AI. And AI is going to impact everything. And it's also going to impact how we interact with everything. So AI, now the homepage for all of us, whether it's a search engine, if we want to search something, or kind of this random boxes, this is kind of pretty annoying, if you ask me. And we believe that the homepage will be AI chatbots to do various things. If you're looking for something, you're looking to buy something, you're looking to do something, you're looking to spend time, so you can consult with this AI chatbot. And so obviously, for many of our customers, they start to see traffic coming from AI chatbots, specifically ChatGPT and the others. They want to measure that. Let's imagine you have e-commerce company. They have purchases that coming from Google, purchases that coming organically, and purchases that coming from Facebook, TikTok, and AI chatbots. Organic, non-organic, we believe that we're going to see more ads in the AI chatbots. It's a matter of time, whether it's going to happen this year or next year. If we look at the decade, for sure, we want to add that to the mix of measurement. By the way, we've built the technology. So the existence of AppsFlyer was created because of the lack of cookies in mobile app environment. So we've built a very unique technology to do that. And what we are doing now is connecting the dots with the other form factors. And that's super interesting, because mobile applications, for some of you, mobile app and mobile is the center of the universe. But for many companies, it's not. We need to understand that in global markets, specifically in the US, it's absolutely not. It's getting now to the center of the universe, but still they have really big percentage of activity in other devices. And I think it's going to be very, very, very interesting to kind of connect the dots and have this kind of holistic view. And I think that for us as a company, from serving the mobile app parts in the companies, it's really serving the entire company and workflow.
I think so. I mean, if you look how global our audience here is, they work on low-end handsets in Africa. They are targeting PC gamers and console gamers in Japan. Cross-platform, trying to generate the best user experience in the United States with American consumers who are multi-screen, who care more about the user experience versus the user interface. But you mentioned, of course, something that I think has been mentioned a lot, and it's going to be mentioned more and more and more, and that's AI. AppsFlyer has made very, very few all-in bets. Is an AI an all-in bet for AppsFlyer?
Absolutely. Yeah, so
talk to us about that.
So last year, participants that were with us in MAMA Xitang, I think that 50%, half of the discussions were around AI.
Yeah.
One of the things that I mentioned here on stage, that AI or die. You either go all in about AI, or this is the beginning of the end of the corporate existence for so many levels. I think that the last year were major developments in AI. I can mention a few things that we're doing and a few things that what you should expect from us in that era. First of all, internal operations. It might sound boring, like okay, it's not about the product, it's kind of about efficiency. I say that this is absolutely not about efficiency. If one person can be superhuman and can do the job of 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, this is not about efficiency. This is about the ability to create something that no one else can, if they're not going to use AI. So AI is inevitable. You have to do it. It's existential. And what we are doing is basically, we can take that offline because it's really, really, really wide, but we're implementing AI across the entire organization. So everybody will have the AI tools, AI agents internally, so they can do much better, much faster, and so many things. And if you are moving forward, because the road is kind of unfolding, and if you're moving faster than anyone else, you see the future faster. And then when you see the future faster, you can actually make better decisions to the future. And I think that the companies that will adapt at the fastest will be able to open such a huge gap that will completely leave your competitors behind without the ability to actually recover. That's the first thing. The second thing is how can you make your teams superhumans? How can we enable your teams to actually do 100x each one of the team members? And this is how we develop AI agents to actually allow you to do much more on the platforms and across our partners, whether it's getting the insights, getting automations, and automate many of the workflows. So some of our customers have tens, dozens, sometimes hundreds of people that operate on top of the AppsFlyer data. Big portion of it is manual, and manual work can automate. And people, and probably also your teams and also my team, I think that we overcome that internally, and I think that there is a resistance for something that might replace your job. And I tell you that if you are not going to, as an individual and your teams, if they're not going to adopt AI, then really someone is going to take your job, and it's going to be someone with AI. So it's inevitable.
I think we are running out of time, but you have over 100 amazing eyeballs looking at you and listening to you right now. What do you want to say to this amazing group of top-tier Chinese companies who have defined the mobile era for AppsFlyer over the past 10 years?
I tell you, when we got into China and we decided to invest in China and we decided to go all in China, we had several question marks. Can Chinese companies be successful globally? That's a question that we ask ourselves and the board, because we're making a significant investment. Can they be successful in creating great products that everybody will be able to use? Can we go through all these challenges together? And can we actually learn together from the customers here and building a very robust platform? And are we going to get good feedback from the customers or not? Are we going to work with the smartest people, most dedicated people on the planet, so we can go further together? So I think that these were bets. We didn't know that this is going to be the reality. And actually, we didn't really have a strategy, like I said. I also remember that we brought the entire board of directors to Beijing, to the office, and to have the board meeting in the office so they can actually see that with their own eyes, that something major is happening here and we need to continue to invest here. And I think that we got a huge V check for all these aspects. And then a decade after, we sit in front of probably the largest change humanity ever experienced, not in our lifetimes, ever experienced with AI. AI is going to impact everything that you can even imagine. Everything. Now, we have some amazing customers here and partners that are partners with us for the last decade. Great people, great relationship, great innovators. We understand together that AI is going to change everything. We want to build these AI agents and products that will allow you to be even more successful. And we want to continue to work with you in building this. AI agent is really simplifying workflow. And we already started to have the discussions with some of you about the workflow, how the workflow internal is working for you, and how we can actually build these agents to allow you to do 100x and allow your team to be superhuman, each and every one of them, so they can amplify their human intelligence. I believe that in 2035, the world is going to be very different. I hope to continue to be here, and we're all going to be more successful, leveraging these new exciting technologies. Obviously measurement, but on top of the data, we're going to do some magic together. So good luck to us.